Hello coders, welcome everyone to today's video. So today we are going to learn about generating random powerful encryption string using OpenSSL encryption function and OpenSSL decrypt functions. Let's begin with coding. Now we need random 16 character long string for the initialization vector. First, I am creating one class to define methods in it. Class secure. After defining the class, create one private variable and put any character in it using the straight line symbol to later differentiate those characters. Here I am using the small letters, capital letters and numbers for the characters. Create like private static variable name equal to the symbol that you want. Now create one static function random string and in that function define the length we want for the initialization vector, that is 16 character long. IV in OpenSSL encrypt function and OpenSSL decrypt function is always 16 character or digits long. Now use exploit function to break a string into an array. Sets equal to exploit in round bracket, then double quote, use the symbol that you use in a character variable, call the chars variable using self double colon. Now use for each loop to loop through array that we create using exploit function. Before using the loop, define two empty variables $a and $random for later use. Now in for each, call the array as sets. Use concatenation operator to connect the same variables multiple string to output a single long string. After assigning one single string to all variables, use the same variable and create each string word as an array using the strsplit function to use it in a for loop. Now in a for loop, define how many length long string we need. We already passed the length variable, so use that variable in for loop. Now in a for loop, use the last random variable to generate output and get all loop words in a random variable using concatenation operator, that is dot equal to all array, then array random. Array random function is used to get a random array key so we can get any random value, then pass the array variable, then return a random variable to see if the output is correct. To call the static function, we do not need to create a class object. We can call a method like class name double colon colon function name. Here secure column column random string. Now check on a browser if it is working or not. To check string length is correct, use the function strlength function. Here it shows 16, so the function is working correctly. In the random string function, you can pass any number to the function to generate any number of string. So use it in other project. If you want 12 digit string, you can pass the 12 digit string, 12 digit number to the random string function and it gives you random 12-digit characters. Now make the random string function a private function because we are not using that function outside the class. After generating a random string, define a private static variable for ciphering methods. Here I am using AES 256 CBC HMAC SHA 256. This one means what type of encryption method we are using. To get all the encryption methods, use the function OpenSSL get cipher method. To get all available methods, there are a total of 141 methods. You can select any one from them. Now define another variable option equal to 0. This variable is integer variable. It holds the flag OpenSSL raw data and OpenSSL 0 padding. The last static variable we need is the key which we use to encrypt and decrypt the data. You can use any key. Now create a function for encrypting a data. Public static function name and in round bracket pass the variable for data $data. Then define one static variable static $encrypt. To that variable pass OpenSSL encrypt value. OpenSSL encrypt function need data. Then the ciphering method we already defined, use that using self cipher $cipher. Next parameter we need to pass a key. After key we need to pass option integer value which we define as a 0, and the last parameter we need is to initialize vector. For iv define one variable, that is $iv equal to, in that variable call random string function and pass that variable to OpenSSL encrypt function. Now we need to return the value. We can more secure that string by just returning using the base64 encode function. First pass iv, then use dot pass any 6-digit number or alphabets or anything you want. Here I am passing 6 digits. Then pass the encryption string that we get using OpenSSL encrypt function. Now call encrypt function by typing secure : encrypt, and in the function pass a string or integer value, whatever you want. Hello rich PHP, I am passing a string. Check on a browser string is encrypted or not, as you see some encrypted string is displayed on the browser. Now we need to write a function to decrypt a data. Remember how you encrypt a data in encrypt function. In this method, we need to break that encrypt string to decrypt the data. Encrypt string first 22 characters that we add in encrypt function, we need to remove that characters by using the sub str function. The sub str function return a part of a string. The sub str function needs three parameters. First, string, where to start and the length of the string. The last parameter is optional. Use substr function by just passing a string and 22 to the function. It will give you an encrypted string that we need. Before passing a string, do not forget to use base64 decode function to decode the string. In data enc, we get encrypt string. Now we need the first 16 digit for the initialization vector. For that, use the same function to get IV from a string. Use the function substr. Pass base64 decode data to the function. Then where to start, then pass the option parameter, and the last we need to pass the IV. Return the decrypt variable. Check function is working correctly or not by calling the function. Secure column decrypt, pass the encrypted string. Copy this encrypted string, paste in a decrypt function, run the code on a browser. As you see on a browser, it generates a random encrypted string and easily decrypt a data. Please do use it in your project. In a description there is a GitHub and a blog link for a code. Please do check. Guys, like, comment and share for more video, and thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.